it comes to linebackers, I think we about to be S tier. Scooter, don't piss me off, my man. Don't make me upset. You know what happens when you disrespect the W? I told you, things get ugly when you disrespect the commies, aka the W. So if we're not in S tier, Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner, Jordan McGee. If we're not in S tier, Scooter, I'm warning you. Don't say I didn't warn you, Scooter.
First.
I'm done. I said, Scooter, you do not want to disrespect the W. I'm done. Video's over.
The way that we live is not for everybody.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
How do you think the rest of Jaden Daniels' career is going to go? If we're, 6, 7 games into Jaden Daniels' career, and he's already milking injuries? Like...
Stop saying my name, you dick rhyme bastard. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, and shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty love again now, she's confident.
Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, so we are back yet again. Scooter, I'm a grown man. Magruder has dropped his NFC East tier list defensive rankings. Last time we reacted to this, it was Scooter Magruder's NFC East offensive rankings, and very, very cool. Mr. Scooter Magruder commented on the video and saw it and said, hey, thank you for watching. I challenge you to making your tier list. So after we react to Scooter's defensive version, we're going to respond to Scooter as he challenged me to make my tier list video next. So be on the lookout for that one, as that's going to be the very next upload after this one. But I want to get my information and talk about Scooter's defensive rankings. As the offensive rankings, we already knew he was going to put the Cowboys in every category as S tier. But let's hear Scooter's defensive rankings, and let's hope this time Mr. Magruder put some more respect on them Commanders, baby. Let's get to it.
Hope we're doing well. So last week,
What's
I did
up,
the
Scooter?
NFC East offensive tier list. You guys liked all my suggestions, 100%, no pushback. This week, we're doing the
Definitely
defensive.
pushback, Scooter. Definitely pushback, especially when you're not respecting the W. When you don't respect the W, bad things happen, Mr. Magruder. Just to let you know.
Before we begin, let me tell you how I did this. I used ESPN.com's depth chart. Different teams play different defenses. Eagles playing a 3-4, the Giants playing a 3-4, Cowboys and Commanders playing a 4-3. So I literally went position by position. So I literally compared left defensive end with left defensive end, right defensive end with right defensive end. And as far as whether someone's considered a linebacker or an edge, I went off of ESPN.com's depth chart. I don't know what else to tell you. Here we go. Up first, we have edge. And this should come as no surprise to anyone. It's the Dallas Cowboys. Micah Parsons is a beast. We know what he can do, but we're getting Dante Fowler back from the commies. He had 10.5 sacks last season. Add Donovan Ezeraku to that list. And you've got a potent edge, especially if Marshawn Nealon and Sam Williams can stay healthy. We'll also see what former Saints first rounder Peyton Turner can do. This unit has the makings to be very dangerous.
That I agree with 100%. I really do think they have the best edges in the whole entire NFC. I mean, NFC East, and looking at it, like, Micah Parsons by himself just clears everyone. Let's be honest about it. But as he mentioned, you also throw in, the new rookie that they just drafted, Ezeraku. Hopefully, I said his name right. I do think Dante Fowler, however, Scooter, just being honest with you, as a Commanders fan, nobody expected him to have double-digit sacks. So he kind of had an anomaly of a season, and looking at his track record, he really never has back-to-back seasons of the same production. So I'm not praying on his downfall by any means. I'm not salty that he didn't come back to the Commanders, you know what I'm saying? But in all actuality, he doesn't have consistent back-to-back seasons right after another when it's double digits. Not saying he's not, but just throwing that out there so you should know. And you've known Dante Fowler over the years as well, because he was a former Cowboy before, so this is his second stint with you all. And then also DeMario Overshown. I know he isn't considered an edge, but that guy is an absolute beast. So I know you didn't throw him in there, but yeah, you guys definitely have S tiers and edge rushers. Man, that Micah Parsons by himself scares me, but that new rookie you got, beast. Okay, and again, like I said, DeMario Overshown, beast.
Up next, we have the Eagles. Okay, Listen, Jalen Carter on ESPN.com is listed as an edge and the 3-4. I don't know what to tell you. I know he's an interior lineman. I'm going based off depth chart, though. Eagles just traded away Bryce Huff. It was a relative disappointment for the team. Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, gone also. But Jalen Carter is a beast. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here, which is why they're listed this high. We'll see if Moro Jomo's on the opposite side of him. Let's see what he does with his opportunity this season. Up next, we have the Commies, who are led by former Cowboys player Dorrance Armstrong Jr. They also picked up Deatrick Wise Jr. from the Patriots, but there's a reason why Dorrance Armstrong Jr. is a former Cowboys player. He was good, not great. We'll see what Dietrich can provide.
So here, Scooter, I honestly think like I may be harder on my team than a lot of other people in this category, but edges, I think it's piss poor for us, to be honest with you. I genuinely think we didn't address enough. But again, according to ESPN's depth chart rankings, Deatrick Wise is considered an edge rusher, but he's more so brought in for interior purposes and stopping the run inside. Javon Kinlaw, I guess, can be posed as defensive end as well, according to ESPN rankings, but he's more so going to be on the interior. I think Frankie Louvu, our stand-up linebacker, is going to be getting a ton of work as edge, so at the edge position. So yeah, technically our edge rushing, core is pretty weak, and I don't say we're good, but I don't think we're bruh. We're just gonna pretend that there's another imaginary column that says, pretty average or below average, because that's how I feel about our pass rushers headed into this season. I do think Javonte Jean-Baptiste could have a potential chance to be solid. I do think a guy like Dorrance Armstrong can be solid, just give us 5 sacks. Cleveland Ferrell, maybe, but I do expect a lot of our, sacks and pressures on the quarterback to be schemed up just based off of being pass rushed by a committee. So I'm just going to say pretty average. I'm not going to say good or bruh for us. I'm going to say pretty average.
Provide the comments. And finally, we have the Giants. Listen, again, going off ESPN.com, depth chart. Jakeem Nunez Roches, a.k.a. Nacho, is your starter here, and Ray Robertson Harrison. That's the only reason y'all are down here, but relax. Your time is coming. We're going to defensive interior, okay? So for this, we're looking at...
So, I mean, looking at their edge room, I think their edge room technically on paper probably is better than us. If we're I know you're talking about defensive setups per ESPN, but if we're looking at them being, I guess, technically Abdul Carter and Brian Burns are probably considered outside linebackers in the 3-4, but we know they're edge rushers, and technically on paper those guys are better than, at this point, probably both Washington and Philly. But again, we're going according to the defensive scheme, so hey.
At nose tackles, or the 2 defensive linemen in a 4-3. Starting off, we have
Dexter
the Giants.
Lawrence.
Listen, Dexter Lawrence is a beast. Some might say a behemoth. He could be potentially the best defensive interior in the league if Chris Jones didn't exist. They don't call him Sexy Dexy for no reason. Up next, we have the Commies.
I'll take that.
Here, mainly because Daron Payne. If we're looking at Jordan Davis or Daron Payne, give me Daron Payne. Him and Javon Kinlaw formed the Commies defensive interior. Payne alone got 5 sacks himself last season, and that's why they're in spot number 2.
So I'll take that. Honestly, me personally, again, this may be me being hard on my team, but this is just me being a realistic fan. I wouldn't be myself if I wasn't real. I would put the Eagles over us just for Jalen Carter's impact alone. Now, I'm hoping that Daron Payne going into a potential contract year, he shakes back, but he has not been the same guy since them 11.5 sacks. And sacks doesn't tell the whole story for interior guys, but he hasn't even been that effective in terms of pressures, QB hits, and whatnot since getting this contract. We're still hoping that the old Daron Payne can show up. There's a reason why there's a big target on his back, and he could be the next Jonathan Allen in terms of being released. So because that's how poor he's played over the years, and that's how, I would say fed up fans are with his performance since getting the contract. It seems like since these 2 guys, Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen, got the contract and had their breakout years, they have not amounted to anything. Now, Javon Kinlaw, he has not technically had the best statistical start to his career, but his trajectory is going up, coming off of the best season with the New York Jets, and he knows Adam Peters, and he knows a lot of guys that like Deebo Samuel, familiar with this, culture. So I do think Javon Kinlaw is going to have a huge impact. But Daron Payne, he has the potential to be in the good category. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I would probably make another, put him in the average category. And I'll probably put Philly above us, if I'm just being honest, because Deron Payne, he has to win me over, man, because if not, he's gone, bro.
Up next, we have the Eagles. Jordan Davis leads the way in their 3-4 defense. I actually like Jordan Davis. I met this man at the NFL draft. Very nice guy. The only reason I have him ranked here is because I think the other players are better at the position, but he's still young. He has time. Finally, and unfortunately, we have the Cowboys coming in last for the defensive interior.
Odigizua, though.
This is not on Osa Odigizua.
Okay,
If
I'm
you
about to
look up
say.
his stats are comparable and even better than Jalen Carter in certain categories. This is primarily because of Mozzie Smith. Mozzie Smith has been a disappointment, to say the least, for the Dallas Cowboys. Some suspect it was because he was told to lose a whole bunch of weight his rookie season, and then things just didn't click scheme-wise maybe the second year. Regardless, this is a do-or-die year for Mozzie Smith. He's playing for his contract this year. Now we move on to linebacker.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. Mozzie Smith, I still remember you guys making that selection out of Michigan first-round pick. If my memory serves me correct. If not, I apologize. But Mozzie Smith definitely has been an ultra disappointment. But when it comes to linebackers, I think we about to be S tier. Scooter, don't piss me off, my man. Don't make me upset. You know what happens when you disrespect the W? I told you. Things get ugly when you disrespect the commies, a.k.a. the W. So if we're not in S tier, Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner, Jordan McGee, we're not an S tier, Scooter. I'm warning you. Don't say I didn't warn you, Scooter.
This pretty much includes all edges that would be in
edges
a
as well.
3-4 linebacker core and the 3 linebackers in a 4-3 defense.
Three
This might be
linebackers
the
in
strongest
4-3.
unit in the NFC East, maybe even in the whole league.
Scooter.
This is a very strong unit.
Scooter.
So for these rankings, they're not that far apart. Up first, we have...
I'm done. Scooter, I warned you. And you just disappointed me, man. You disrespected the W. I told you. I said, Scooter, you do not want to disrespect the W. I'm done. Video's over. Now again, I get it, right? He's going off of schemes, right? So he's looking at their 3-4 versus Washington's 4-3, and apparently, in his opinion, Brian Burns and Abdul Carter, them being, 3-4 edge rushers and whatnot, and outside linebackers in the 3-4, he would take those guys over Washington's stand-up 4-3 linebackers and Bobby Wagner, Frankie Louvu, etc. But I disagree. I get Abdul Carter, top 3 and all that draft pick. He's going to be really good, hopefully. But Frankie Louvu, his impact, both as an edge rusher and a stand-up linebacker, was alone damn good last year. So we'll hear what he has to say.
Have the Giants. Normally, I would have the Eagles ranked here, but the Giants are more healthy than the Eagles right now. They got Brian Burns. He's a beast. Bobby Okereke is a force.
Bobby
Kayvon
Okereke
Thibodeau's
is
on,
good.
He's on. When he's off, he's off. But really what propelled this group to number 1 is the fact that they just drafted Abdul Carter. We know what Penn State linebackers can do. We'll see how the Giants utilize their top first-round pick. I expect him to be used in the same way as Mike.
So in terms of upside, hell yeah, give it to the Giants. Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau has not necessarily lived up to that. 5th overall pick or something like that from Oregon? He has not lived up to that thus far, but he's been solid. Brian Burns, solid again. He got paid last season as a big addition to that defensive line, and he was, again, just solid. But I may be a little bit biased here, but I'm taking my stand-up 4-3 backers. Yes, old Bobby Wagner and damn good Frankie Louvu over the Giants. Sorry.
Up next, we have the Eagles. Similar to how Sexy Dexy could be considered the best interior lineman in the league, Zach Bond could be considered the best linebacker. If you would have asked me last season who had the best linebacker core, I would have said the Eagles. But things have changed, as they always do in the NFL. Why don't I have the Eagles ranked number 1? It's because of injury. Somehow, someway, Jahad Campbell fell to them in the draft, which is wild. But reports are saying he might not be able to go week 1 against the Cowboys, America's team. Who knows when he'll actually be on the field? Nolan Smith tore his tricep in the Super Bowl. Reports are saying he should be ready to go before the season starts. We'll keep an eye on that. But Nakobe Dean, who tore his patellar tendon, does not look likely to be ready for a while. Because of all the uncertainty and because of all the injury, Eagles are second for now.
That's
Up next, we
understandable.
have the commies. Bobby Wagner could also be considered one of the best linebackers, if not the best linebacker in the NFL. I actually thought this was going to be a terrible signing by the commies and a huge overpay, but they proved me wrong. in a big way. Frankie Louvu's also holding it down, but this ranking right here is mainly because of Bobby. Again, it's not that the linebacker core is bad, it's just that these two are really good. And lastly, we have the Cowboys. This is only because DeMarvion Overshown got injured. Had this man never got injured, this whole list could be flipped upside down. He looked like a
That man
budding
is a beast,
superstar
bro.
in the league, but alas, we don't
That's why I said, like, I know technically he's a linebacker, but him being off the edge as well, man, I'm stuttering because how good he is. That defensive line for the Cowboys is giving me nightmares already. Hey.
When Overshown's going to be ready to come back this year. He might even come back this year, period. We don't really know. I wouldn't rush things back. We do bring in Kenneth Murray Jr. from the Titans and Jack Sanborn from the Bears. It's going to be interesting to see how this unit meshes together. I did like how Maris Wafu was playing last year, though, former rookie. We did draft Shamar James out of Florida. Go Gators. But this group is really new together, really unproven as a whole, so we'll see. Overshown, I miss you. Moving on to the cornerbacks. Unfortunately, gosh darn Eagles are number one. Primarily because of Howie Roseman, University of Florida graduate. Go Gators. This man had an elite draft when he selected Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean, of course, known colloquially as Cooper DeJean. This is crazy. They're both looking like they are going to be great, elite, young cornerbacks. We're going to have to deal with them for a long time.
So I will say this. Right now, technically, yes, can't be upset with giving it to Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean because they're coming off 2 phenomenal rookie seasons and they obviously won the Super Bowl. But in terms of upside, and I think is going to be the best cornerback trio. Most teams have really good cornerback duos. I think Washington's one of the few teams that's going to have elite cornerback trio play. I just made a video on that earlier today. And Mikey Samerstill, who had a dang good rookie season, just like Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. He shut down A.J. Brown. He shut down Devonta Smith. He shut down Jahan Dotson. Their whole receiving core, Mikey Samerstill had on seatbelts. And he had a dang good play in the division round multiple times with the interception. Mike Samerstill, we just drafted Trey Amos out of Ole Miss, who's your prototypical NFC East physical, tall cornerback. He's built for this division, right? And then obviously Marshawn Lattimore. I think the hate is overgrown for Marshawn Lattimore due to the fact that the trade has not necessarily panned out, but he was hurt last season. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt and letting him get a full year of health before I decide, nah, he's not any good. So for me personally, I can't argue with it just because of how good they were and they won a Super Bowl. But after this year, we'll be next tier and they'll drop down to great. But right now, if we're not in great, I'll be highly upset.
Long time. They did lose Big Play Slay, but I felt like he was on the decline anyways. Avonte Maddox is gone. Bradbury is gone too. But they've got 2 of the best young cornerbacks in the game, and we'll see what Keely Ringo can do with this opportunity this year. Up next, we have the Dallas.
Scooter, you did it again. You did it again. You just disrespected the W. This is my 3rd time. You struck out. Threw a fastball by you first. You swung over it 100 miles per hour. Okay, cool. Second pitch, second strike. Threw a little bit, a slider in the dirt. You went for it. Now this one, I took some off of it. No velocity on it. Nothing to trick you. I threw you a 65 miles per hour meatball right down the middle. This was your opportunity to get it right, Scooter. And you have Washington in average. I'm hoping you have Washington in average. Because knowing that way this is going, you probably put us in bruh. And probably put the Giants over us. At this point, right? Heck no. I get Trayvon Diggs a couple years ago was dang good. I can't stand Trayvon Diggs. I really can't. Because Terry McLaurin is so unbothered. And he always tries to pick with him. You know what I'm saying? Tries to drag on him. Try to do so much. You know what I'm saying? He's just cocky. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand him. And he plays for the Cowboys, so it makes it that much worse. He's coming off of an injury. We don't know what he's going to be. DeRon Bland, he had a really good year the year prior to last season, and he had some injury. We don't really know what they're going to be like. Man, nah, Scooter. You got to put my Commanders at great. You disrespected the W again, Scooter. I'm sorry.
Dallas Cowboys.
I'm sorry.
This unit would have been ranked number 1, but again, the injury bug. Not only the injury bug, but we also let what I consider the best slot cornerback go to the Miami Dolphins. Of course, I'm talking about Jordan Lewis. But DeRon Bland should be full strength this year. We won't get Diggs back for a while. We don't know when exactly he'll be back. But we did draft Savon Revel Jr., who should be ready to go week 1. And let me tell you, this is one of the lankiest athletes I've ever seen seen in my life. I'm excited. I already got the nickname. I'm calling him the Lank Ness Monster. Former first-round pick Kyer Elam, go Gators, is on the squad. Maybe a change of scenery is all he needed because Port so far, he is hooping. Easily could be number one if we stay healthy this season. Up next, I got the commies, mainly because of Mike Sainristra. This was a breakout rookie season. He looks to be a beast.
Average, Scooter. Average? Are you kidding me? You just took injuries into consideration for your team, but when you were talking in terms of the other defensive positions for other teams in the division, you didn't let injuries be a reason for you to not place them where they placed them. Cool. Okay, cool. But we have the best cornerback room in the division as a whole. Just to let you know, I only named the top three, and Mike Sanders still. You did a good job naming him. Marshawn Lattimore, who's going to come back, be healthy, and turn back the clock and be him old self. And Trey Amos, rookie. But we still have a former Cowboy. You cut him. Noah Igbenogany. Remember him? You cut him. Now, he had a dang good year last year. We go out and get Super Bowl champion Jonathan Jones. And a slew of other guys. We have the best cornerback room in the division. I'm sorry. This is blasphemy,
But
Scooter.
Marshawn Lattimore, it's either feast or famine. And from a lot of the games I watched last year, it was famine. He was getting bodied. If he can be more consistent, this group would be ranked higher. And finally, we've got the Giants. This honestly might be the Giants' weakest position, offensively or defensively. Leaves a lot to be desired. And that's me being nice. Deontay Banks was not ready for prime time as cornerback one last year. They do add Paulson Adebo, but again, we'll see if he can carry the load with that price tag. Honestly, they better hope their rookie Corey Black at Oklahoma State can provide something because they need all of that. Up next, we have the safeties. This was honestly the hardest position to rank. I got the Eagles though. CJ Gardner-Johnson is gone, but Reed Blankenship, I think, is one of the most
Reed
underrated
Blankenship is a
safeties
dog,
in
bro.
the league. We don't know who they're gonna put next to him yet. There's something about Reed, which is why I have them ranked number one. I got the Dallas Cowboys up next. Donovan Wilson, Malik Hooker. You know what you're getting. Great value. Malik Hooker did take a step back a little bit last season. Honestly, though, the reason the Cowboys are ranked here is because we have a lot of depth here at this position. I actually want to see Wanye Thomas, Marquise Bell compete in training camp for these positions. It'll be interesting to see what happens in training camp. Up next, we have the Giants, led by Javon Holland. Some might argue the Giants could be over the Cowboys. I could see that. But Tyler Nubin really is still unproven in the passing game. And again, the Cowboys have that depth. If one of the two safeties for the Giants were to go down, I'm not sure you could easily slide someone else in and keep things moving. But a good unit for the Giants, and we'll see how Tyler Nubin develops this season. Lastly, I have the commies. Again, Juan Martin and Will Harris are not bad by any means. I just really had a hard time doing the safety. And mostly they're unproven together. And coming up to our last category.
Can't even argue with that. I think Will Harris is going to be a beast. I generally do, looking at the tape. Quan Martin, he's going to have a breakout year, I believe so as well. But great points there, Scooter. I'm not going to lie. Can't argue with that.
Special teams.
Oh, Tressway better be. Are we doing this in terms of punter and like kick returner? I'm gonna let him rock. I think we're doing it on all. Kevon Turpin as well. Yes, we know how good he
Gosh
is.
darn right, the Cowboys are S tier, mainly because of Brandon Automatic Aubrey.
Brandon Aubrey, of course.
Turpin
Yes.
is leading the leads in kick return yards since 2022. A great find.
Brandon
For the
Aubrey is a
remainder of these, I
goddamn
just
dog.
went in order
Yeah.
of field goal percentage of the kicker. I don't know
Okay.
what Jake Elliott was doing last season either. Like, bro, get it together. Actually, keep up the good work, Jake. But that's what I got for the NFC East tier list defense. Let me know. What would you change? Do you like the order? Leave a comment down below. Also, don't say you're delusional. Say, I would put this team here because. Use your words. There are some things I want to address from the last video. Firstly, do not use AI to fact check anything. It is incorrect. I saw some people on that video erroneously trying to fact check me about what I was saying about Dak. Look up the stats. Do not use AI. It's not there yet. Dak does have a better touchdown to interception ratio than Jalen Hurts. Dak is more accurate than Jalen Hurts. Dak actually is the 7th most accurate passer of all time. Look it up. What is wrong with you? Just go to a website. We're not there yet. Please do some research. But be on the lookout for another banger coming here soon. I got another similar video, different style. I'm very excited for this one. But if you enjoyed this video, press the like button, subscribe. 97% of people who watch my videos are not subscribed. I just made that up, but it could be true. As always, no. Who got more Suegos? Throw me the alley.
Shout out to Scooter Magruder, man. Great watch. What do y'all think about his tier list? Scooter Magruder done it again. And he called your boy out. He challenged me. Commented on the last video and said, do your tier list. Scooter, your answers has been answered, my good friend, as I'm going to drop my tier list next after this video. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and be on the lookout for that. And shout out to Scooter Magruder. I'm a grown man. Shout out to you, my man. Appreciate you for checking me out. As always, me and Boy Juangotti. Maybe we got to get a debate in or something. Maybe you got to come on the show, channel, you know what I'm saying? We chop it about the NFC East, because one thing we got in common is we can't stand them birds and we can't stand them G-men. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, help to the Washington Commanders on the road to 10,000 subscribers. We greatly appreciate it. If you can reach that goal as soon as possible, thank you so much. Y'all have a blessed one. Stay safe. Be easy out there. Peace.
Ballin' like I'm Deshaun, throw the bomb, G. That's IG, my jersey never seen a lawn.